Hey, this is Katie with Following the Funks. I did an episode before about one of my favorite hobbies called cross-stitching. You can view that video here. In this video, part 2 is a new project that I'm working on in embroidery. Hand embroidery is something completely new to me. It is not an area that I have any skill set in. I thought it would be fun to kind of bring you along in this process to show you what I'm learning as I'm learning. And if anybody else out there is interested in learning it as well, then maybe this will give you some more confidence to do this and just start. As I mentioned before, cross-stitching is a 2D design usually, and it's made up of stitches that are crossed. Hand embroidery is more freestyle, it's more of a 3D design, and it's also on a more tightly woven fabric. It can be on almost any type of fabric that you want. I found this gal who does wonderful hand embroidery pieces. Most of them are a hoop design. So when I saw that she had a cityscape of Istanbul, then I thought, okay, if I'm going to spend any amount of time on this, then Istanbul is going to be the city that I choose. Part of the downloading package is a whole ebook on how to do any type of hand embroidery thing. And within the ebook is also links to videos that she has made that shows you how to do different types of stitches. So it has made this process way easier. In the second ebook, there is the design for the city, as well as a transfer page, the colors that you need, what stitches you use in what places. The items that I needed were a good fabric that I can tighten in a hoop, the hoop that I could tighten the fabric with. A normal cross-stitching hoop wouldn't work for this. I needed the hoop to be tight and I could tighten it. Color threads that I needed. I used the DMC threads, a pencil or any type of fabric pin that can easily be removed once your project is finished, embroidery scissors. You'll also need a needle. And while it's not necessary having a stand, it leaves me with both hands free. This design comes for a 6-inch hoop. I chose to do this project on an 8-inch hoop instead of a 6-inch, mostly for the ease of stitching, because increase the size of the design, then you have more space to work with. The first part of this project was transferring the design onto the fabric. Place my fabric into the hoop and tighten it before I transferred the design onto the fabric. And the reason you do that is because you want to work with a really tightened fabric. I used an iPad that was underlit, put the pattern on the iPad and then the fabric on top of the printed paper. And then once I had the design on my fabric, I then repositioned it into the hoop, making sure that the fabric was tight, that I had good tension. It's tight enough to kind of give a little bit of bounce back to your fingers. Sounds a little bit like a drum. You'll notice that I already started on the embroidery part of it. Mostly I was just so nervous to get started and to see if it's something I could even do properly or well, that I felt like I should just do it without video. And so I went ahead and did a couple of buildings already. I started on the outside edges and I'm working in. I don't know if there's actual better system to do this. Some of the stitches are done vertically, horizontal, and then all of the buildings are going to have some type of outline. You can outline first and then fill in the space, but what I've chosen to do is actually fill in the buildings and then do the outline stitches second. I'm really happy with how it's turning out. I'm still working on this project, and so I wanted to share a little bit of how I'm working on it with you. Overall, it's been a really fun project, and I'm excited every day to kind of work a little bit on it here and there. I'll probably do one more video of this project to show you how I finished it and then how I'm going to frame it in the end. So I guess that would make a 2-part series into a 3-part series. I'd be interested to know if you do hand embroidery. Is it something that you enjoy? Do you have any other patterns for me or tips that I would enjoy looking at? For anything that I've talked about in this video and things I think would be helpful for you, I will link them down in the description box below. Thanks for following along, and I will see you next week.